In 1968, at the Skyview restaurant opening, Paul proposed to Iris, slipping a ring onto her finger. But joy turned to terror when a boy tossed a coin into a fan above. The fan jammed, metal supports groaned, and cracks spread across the glass floor beneath the dancers. Suddenly, a fan blade shattered, hitting a gas pipe. Gas filled the air. Paul fell through the floor, barely grabbing a pane of reinforced glass before slipping away. Chaos erupted. People screamed and ran, flames ignited, and a massive explosion tore through the room. Iris narrowly escaped as the celebration turned into a fiery nightmare. Staff screamed for everyone to evacuate. The boy who threw the coin ran ahead, leading the panicked crowd, but death had other plans. A walkway collapsed, killing all who entered. Miraculously, the boy survived. Survivors shoved toward the elevator, chaos erupting as people fought for space. An old man got trapped in the doors. The overloaded lift crushed him. Pregnant and desperate, Iris noticed objects sliding and the ceiling cracking. She climbed upward just in time. Others weren't so lucky. Floors split, sending people sliding onto reinforced glass. A woman thought she was safe, until a piano teetered above. Death struck again. A coin knocked it loose, crushing her instantly. Everyone had fallen. The boy who escaped smirked, until the piano came crashing down on him. Iris, heartbroken over Paul, spotted another boy in danger and rushed to save him. The entire building collapsed, and at the last second, she grabbed a metal beam, only to realize it wasn't her hand holding on, but Paul's engagement ring hooked on the steel. The ring snapped, and Iris plunged into the flames below. Suddenly, Stephanie jolted awake in class. It was the same nightmare she'd had for 2 months. A woman named Iris, her grandmother's name, but she'd never met her. Her roommate urged her to go home and uncover the truth. When Stephanie asked her father about Iris, his uneasy smile said it all. He was hiding something. Stefan's brother, Charlie, planned to visit their cousins, and Stefani joined him. Before they left, their father, Marty, warned them not to mention Iris. That only deepened Stefani's suspicion. Who was Iris really? And what had happened to her? At their cousin's house, Stefani asked Uncle Howard about her mother, Darlene. His face went pale. But when she mentioned Skyview Restaurant, the place from her nightmares, everyone froze. Under pressure, Howard finally confessed. Iris wasn't dead, but she wasn't sane either. After their father's death, Iris had a complete breakdown, locking her children inside, terrified they'd die if they left. To the family, she was gone long before her body was. But for Stefani, this was just the beginning. The police eventually took Iris away, but she never let go. Obsessed, she tracked her family from afar. When Howard and Brenda had kids of their own, terrifying letters began arriving, filled with warnings and photos of dead bodies. They fled, cutting all ties. Curious, Stefani begged to see the letters. After much pleading, Brenda secretly told her where they were hidden. What Stefani found was chilling. The woman in the photos looked exactly like the one from her dreams. The nightmares were real. Determined for answers, she drove into the mountains, following Iris's last known address. At a remote cabin, Iris's shaky voice came through an intercom, begging her to leave. But when Stefani revealed she was her granddaughter, Iris finally let her in, under one condition: empty your pockets. Inside, Stefani found a fortress of traps and spikes. Iris claimed it was all for protection from unseen forces. As Stefani stepped inside, tension thick in the air. A fire extinguisher suddenly crashed to the ground outside. Iris warned Stephanie not to touch anything. Every object could be a deadly trap. But when she finally saw her granddaughter, her expression softened. She asked about Darlene, Stephanie's mother. Stephanie admitted she hadn't seen her since childhood. Then came the question that haunted her, the nightmare. Iris's eyes darkened. It wasn't a dream, she said. Years ago, she had a vision, a disaster that would claim countless lives. She was on the rooftop with Paul when it began. A hat flew off, a boy tried to toss a coin, and security stopped him. But the boy insisted. Just as Paul prepared to propose, Iris sensed doom. She snatched the coin, the key that would start the butterfly effect, and ran downstairs. Flames, music, people dancing above breaking glass. She grabbed the microphone and shouted, "Look at the floor!" Some tried to stop Iris, but when the crowd saw the cracks beneath their feet, panic spread. That night, she saved dozens of lives. The tower never collapsed. But death doesn't forgive interference. Years later, everyone from that night, including her husband Paul, met their fate. Iris had spent her life sensing death before it struck, preventing tragedy after tragedy. But now, cancer was slowly claiming her. As she spoke with Stefani, a ray of sunlight bounced off a magnifying glass, igniting a rope. Death was here again. Iris reacted fast, knocking the glass away. She told Stefani her dreams weren't random. She'd inherited the gift. But the moment Stefani decided to leave, Iris warned her. "Death is coming for our family." Stefani didn't believe her. She turned to go, and Iris, desperate, begged, "Take the book. It might be the only thing that saves you." Just as Stefani was about to leave, Iris froze. She had a vision. The wind, the compass, signs of death. "Don't step outside," she warned. But Stefani didn't listen. Iris threw her the book, shouting that it could protect the family. When Stefani doubted her, Iris promised to prove it. A sudden gust blew the compass off the table. It hit a fire extinguisher, which shot forward and pierced Iris through the mouth. Stefani screamed as her grandmother collapsed before her eyes. Now she believed, but it was too late. At the funeral, Stefani tried warning her father and uncle. Death was coming, but they laughed it off. That same day, her mother Darlene appeared, still bitter toward Iris. Stefani walked away, clutching the mysterious book. Later that evening, while she read, her family gathered for a cheerful barbecue. Laughing, carefree, unaware that death was already there. Bobby dropped a glass, and a shard slipped unseen into the ice. Eric carelessly set his drink beside a gas tank. Death's next weapon was ready. The family gathered, laughing, drinking, and unknowingly using ice mixed with shattered glass. Howard raised his glass, toasting Iris's memory. "Let's enjoy life while we can." Everyone clinked glasses and drank. Suddenly, Julia began choking. Panic spread, but it was a false alarm. She was fine for now. Inside, Stefani read Iris's book and froze at a chapter describing a coin and a barbecue. Outside, Eric lit the grill. Bobby and Charlie jumped on the trampoline, unaware of a sharp rake hidden below. The book slipped from Stefani's hands. Her chest tightened with dread. A photo frame shattered. A shard slid across the floor. Whose drink had the deadly glass? Howard took a sip. Nothing. Then the camera lingered on Darlene's glass. Sensing danger, Stefani rushed toward Howard's house, calling her brother again and again. No answer. The trampoline stitches were tearing, and as she drove faster, a warning sign appeared in her headlights. A warning sign flashed ahead. It felt like death itself was trying to stop her. Back at the house, the deadly glass shard was in Marty's drink, but he only took a sip and set it down. Howard climbed onto the trampoline, its surface ready to give way. Darlene spotted the hidden rake just in time and hurried to put it away. But fate had other plans. Brenda accidentally knocked over a bottle, hitting a switch that rattled the pipes beneath the yard. The same rake began sliding back down. When Stefani arrived, death's show had already begun. Howard turned to greet her. In that instant, Bobby's leg got caught in the trampoline, Julia's glass slipped, and a shard hit the ground. Howard stepped on it, pain shooting through his foot. He stumbled. Right as the rake fell onto the lawn mower, the engine roared to life and charged straight at him. Seconds later, Howard was gone. Another funeral followed, and this time, Stefani knew it wasn't over. She raced home, desperate to uncover what the book was trying to warn her about. Stefani discovered a note. JB found someone who survived. It detailed a terrifying pattern. Iris and Paul's children were Howard and Darlene. Howard's kids, Eric, Julia, Bobby. Darlene's, Stefani and Charlie. All bound by blood, all marked by death. She explained everything to the family. Silence filled the room as she revealed the truth. The deaths were following the same order from the Sky View disaster. Iris had saved hundreds that night, and now death was reclaiming them, one by one. It began with Howard's family, and next would be hers. Marty and Brenda weren't related by blood, so they were safe. But Eric, Howard's eldest, was next. No one believed her. They called her crazy and left. Meanwhile, Eric arrived at work, unaware of the spinning fan above. Its chain swaying dangerously, waiting for death's next move. The chain hooked perfectly onto Eric's nose ring. The fan spun slowly, tightening it as he balanced on tiptoes. He bumped a lamp, which fell into flammable disinfectant. Flames erupted. Glass shattered. Eric struggled in pain, finally yanking the chain free, only to knock over more disinfectant. Seconds later, the shop exploded. Stefani, frantic after Eric missed all her calls, grabbed Charlie and raced out. They nearly crashed on the way. Eric survived, tearing off his burning leather jacket, but the close call confirmed what Stefani feared. Death was hunting them. Eric refused to believe her, so Stefani stayed close, following Iris's notes to prevent disasters. A tree trimmer nearly fell on a boy's soccer ball, which could have hit Eric. And just then, Julia appeared jogging, as a garbage truck rolled dangerously close. Stefani yelled at Eric to stay back, but he goofed around near the truck, making silly faces. Julia, ignoring them, ran with her headphones on. Suddenly, she was thrown into the garbage truck. They chased it in horror, but the driver couldn't hear a thing. Stephanie leapt onto the truck and grabbed Julia's hand. But it was too late. The compactor crushed her. At that moment, the family finally understood. Death was real, and it was coming for them. Then Brenda dropped a bombshell. Eric wasn't Howard's biological son. That might explain why he survived. The next target? Howard's younger son, Bobby. Stefani recalled a name from Iris's notes. William, known to Darlene and the family. At the hospital, William revealed the truth. He had been saved by Iris long ago, but now he was dying like her. He warned that death would strike them all, in the exact order on the list, unless someone took drastic action. The warning was chilling, but the truth was worse. William whispered, "Don't interfere too much with Death's plan. Failure only makes it deadlier." He urged them to cherish their remaining time, then walked away. Eric, desperate to save Bobby, devised a reckless plan. Trigger a severe allergic reaction with peanuts so doctors could bring him back from the brink. They bought peanuts from a vending machine, but they got stuck. Frustrated, Eric smashed the glass, and they even lifted the entire machine to get them out. Finally, peanuts in hand, they entered the next room, only to accidentally activate the MRI scanner. Its magnetic force yanked metal toward it. Eric's piercings tore violently. A wheelchair flew across the room, and he was slammed into the machine with terrifying force. Bobby, still reeling from the peanuts, couldn't help. As he reached for Eric's EpiPen, a doctor entered, and then disaster struck. A spring from the vending machine flew across the room, piercing Bobby's head. Stefani, Darlene, and Charlie clung together, realizing they couldn't fight death. Following Iris's path, they raced into the mountains toward her old cabin. Unaware a coin had slipped from the notebook. An old woman picked it up, ominously. The cabin loomed, death seemingly waiting. Stephanie floored the gas, crashing midway. Her seatbelt pinned her, leaving Darlene as the only hope. Sparks from a shorted roof wire went unnoticed. As Darlene reached the door, a massive explosion hurled Stefan into a pond, while Charlie was trapped under boards. Injured, Darlene freed him and urged him to save Stefani. Then a falling light pole struck her down instantly. Charlie pulled Stefani from the wreckage just in time. She was unconscious, but he revived her. They hugged, laughing in relief. Maybe this was what William meant by die and come back. But news of Darlene's death soon crushed Stefani. Only she and Charlie remained from Iris's bloodline. A week later, they visited Charlie's girlfriend. While fixing his clothes, Stefani pricked her finger on a rose thorn, and the nightmare flashed back. In her vision, Iris had done the same. A coin rolled down steps, lodged in train tracks, and a speeding train barreled toward it. Her pulse quickened. The girl's father was a doctor. Something was about to happen. The doctor explained casually that Stefani hadn't truly died. Her heart never stopped, so technically, she was alive. But to Stefani and Charlie, it didn't feel reassuring. Then Stefani spotted it. A red car, just like in her nightmare. Even Charlie's girlfriend wore the same clothes as Iris had. A chill ran down her spine. Suddenly, the train derailed, barreling toward them. Stefani tripped. Charlie yanked her up just in time. For a moment, it seemed they had escaped. But death wasn't finished.